Welcome to Drag Race TV LA's weekly recap of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 3 with another extra special doubleheader episode recapping episodes 6 and 7. And yes, you've guessed it, we will be talking about Snatch Game and the much anticipated reading challenge. So if you like to talk Drag Race, you've come to the right place. Hello.
Hello.
We're back.
Finally.
Sorry, we both just have such busy lives
I know,
we
right?
just can't get our shit together.
I mean, I've recently gotten my divorce. I'm ready for my pool boy.
You look amazing as always, Miss Magenta Fox.
Thank you. I don't feel.
I feel like
excuse me, guys. I am a snotty ass mess today, but we'll drink anyway.
I feel like I've really dropped the ball and not been in drag. So I apologize, everybody. It's just been a whirlwind over here since the old new job offer, which I discussed on a previous episode. So I apologize. I haven't been in drag, but I'm still here. And we're still going to recap these two episodes. We're going to try and do them kind of both at the same time, kind of mush it together, because we both have, again, we have things we have to do. So we're going to try and get this done in an hour. So if we don't talk about something or we jump over your questions in the chat, we sincerely apologize from the onset. Oh, thank you, Literal Truth. Magenta, you look beautiful, Literal Truth says. Hello, Kitty and Caesar and Ahmed. And that's it. All right. Maybe Chucky Chuck will join later. So spoiler alert, before we get into this, we are going to be talking about the outcomes of episode 6 and 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK 3. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch them, then come back and watch us and see if you agree with our thoughts and the thoughts of those in the chat room with us right now. Also, please subscribe to the channel down over in that corner. You can click on notifications if you want to be notified when we go live. Also, be sure to follow us on all social media at DRTVLA, so you know what we're up to. Excuse me, again, I've kind of dropped the ball. I apologize if you guys are waiting for signs of life from us on the DRTV, but I've just been kind of in a little whirlwind. All right. I know you have, as always, Miss Magenta, you have some things to say. Your overall thoughts on episodes 6 and 7.
Okay, so episode 6, what a shit show. Why would you get rid of the two best contestants that people actually liked?
Yeah.
Snatch Game itself was all right, but yeah, wrong bottom two, but we'll get there.
Yeah. And episode 7, which was the Fugly Ball challenge.
Yes. Was the most real-life drag experience I've ever related to in my life in terms of a drag race challenge. But man, did they not show their hand of just how quickly they're filming this season.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's another good point.
Was this episode not just a prime example?
Mm-hmm.
But can I just say, do we really believe they only had 60 minutes for the first round? There is no way in hell Rue had his face painted that quick.
Yeah.
Rue ain't getting ready that quick. Nah.
Right?
I mean, Raven's good, but come on.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that because we had talked about on a previous recap that Willem was saying that they really, really filmed this season very quickly, some episodes in a single day. So that's a good point. I didn't even think of that, but that's why they might be doing the challenge that way. Thank you, Literal Truth, for joining us. Literal Truth says that he's glad that we found time in our schedules because he's mainly watching the show so that he can take part in these, which I appreciate because Literal Truth, I only do these to come and hear what you have to say.
Literal Truth, I'm in the same boat, mate. I'm like, why? Can I just go to Canada?
Yeah. Well, Elaine is also saying in the chat room too that she liked that they had a time limit to do things, which I think is great. I just kept thinking like when they were talking, I was like, oh my God, stop talking, get ready. I'm like, stop talking, stop having conversations. You need to get ready.
It was just ridiculous. I'm like, why are we stopping to have a mirror moment right now? You've got 30 minutes. Come on, let's
Yeah.
get the shit done, love.
Right. Let me just recap everybody what happened on the end of season. So we ended episode 5 was the Drag Lexa Maxi Challenge with
Oh, God,
Scarlett
was
and
it that long
Charity
ago?
in the bottom, and there were no winners. They didn't crown a winner, but Charity Case ended up going home after that lip sync for your life.
Bye, Diva.
Yeah. So a couple things. Both episodes had a little in the after elimination stuff that I kind of just wanted to talk about. In episode 6, because Scarlett asked the group. I'm just curious because I know some of you thought that Scarlett lost originally to Charity. Did you think that Scarlett deserved this win over Charity?
Flashbacks, as in when they did Big Spender.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like Scarlett won Big Spender, hands down.
Okay.
That's a no doubt there. However, Scarlett probably should have gone home in Snatch Game. Scarlett probably definitely deserved to go home this week. And
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit over the little childish behavior of Scarlett, but you know what? So Scarlett, so it's all good.
Yeah.
She gets that she's a dickhead.
I mean, I like Scarlett. To me, seems authentic. Like, I don't feel like she's putting on. I feel like that's genuinely her. The person that's really been getting under my skin, and I had to remind myself today when I was rewatching that she's only been doing this for a year, and she's probably basing all of her talking, her confessional and stuff, on what she's seen in past episodes, because that's all she knows about drag is vanity.
Okay.
Because she even made a comment, like, you can tell that she's like saying stuff to try to get airtime. Like, she makes a comment to Choriza after that elimination, like, are you gonna just keep relying on your comedy? And it's like, well, girl, you're first of all, you're not one to talk. You've been in the bottom more than probably anybody on this fucking couch, and you're gonna sit here and give attitude to somebody who's been actually doing well. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't like her attitude. Like, she made a comment about sick of being in the safe and in the bottom, and making a comment to Kitty, why doesn't she have a badge? I don't know. Like, I'm just like, she's rubbing me the wrong way. What are your thoughts on Vanity? Maybe you know her better than I do.
Yeah, no, she's not rubbing me the wrong way at all. I much prefer Vanity over freaking Suki Lala crybaby Scarlett over there, who's, still needs to learn how to paint a bigger face. Because I don't know, it's just something about the way she paints. It's just not that I'm painted all that great tonight. This is the most slapped on I've ever done. But but I'm sick, so I've got an excuse.
Right.
Yeah, no, Vanity. Look, all I can say is Vanity proved herself with that lip sync for your life in this week's episode.
You think she did deserve it?
Oh God, yeah. To me, what Vanity did on that stage to the Mystique song, Scandalous, was the equivalent of a Dita Ritz in season 4.
Oh.
It gave me that energy. It gave me that life. It gave me what I wanted in terms of a performance, because it didn't feel desperate.
Okay.
Like how when they lip sync for their life and they're doing all those tricks and everything, it feels like it's in desperation. To me, Vanity's felt real. It felt like lip sync.
Okay. I will agree to disagree.
I'll agree to try and not die.
I don't know. Again, maybe it's just because she's rubbing me the wrong way that I'm just not into it, but whatever.
I'd say so.
All right. So we had the reading challenge on episode 6, and the winner was Miss Choriza May. Anyone that stood out that you thought? Did you think Choriza was going to win? Did you think maybe somebody else was going to win? Was there somebody that you thought was just horrific?
Well, when it comes to comedy, like Choriza's I'm always going to have Choriza's back when it comes to a good laugh. So yeah, I thought Choriza did great. From memory, I really liked Kitty as well.
Me too.
But those are my kind of girls.
Yeah, me too.
They seem to be the two that aren't taking this so seriously. They're
Mhm.
actually there having fun.
Right, exactly. And I
And
think again, I've said this before, it's those people that stand out to me. It's those people that I look forward to
oh,
because
hundred.
you can completely tell, and that's I think why Vanity's just rubbing me the wrong way. It's because she's just doing this for booking. Like I get it, and that's fine. Like that's
Possibly.
fine, but um, whatever.
But every season's had the baby queen that's only been doing it for a year. I
Yeah,
mean, that started with Shangela.
yeah,
And look at Shangela now. She's just done bloody well Jimmy Fallon, and she's just done Watch What Happens Live.
yeah.
Here's a girl that people thought, well, you've been doing this 10 months, you're never going to make anything of yourself.
Hmm.
And she's a hustler, and she did the thing.
Yeah. Well, um, I just think I also think that I don't know. I just feel like it's changed so much from when Shangela was on. I still think Shangela, even though she was only doing it for 10 months, she was still doing it for the right reason. Like it wasn't like Drag Race
Yeah,
had
she wanted to be on
had
TV and be famous.
yeah, I
She'll
get
admit
that.
that.
And I get that. I completely get that. But again, like you said, I think it's her drive to do more with it than
Oh,
just the
yeah.
booking fee. So we'll see. We'll see
We'll
who
see.
who lasts
Exactly.
and who doesn't. Um,
Because I'll say this about the UK girls. After the show ends, they're out there freaking booking all the book deals, and they're the ones that are working
mhm,
every TV show under the sun.
yeah,
Like the UK girls, they over this side of the world anyway. You still continue seeing them.
right. I like Peter McNulty's comment. He says Teresa was amazing. I'm so angry they sent her home. Rue just didn't seem to get her, and I agree 1,000%, Peter.
Nah, she only got
1,000%.
to get her
Yeah,
tuck.
yeah, right. All right. So episode 6 was Maxi Challenge was Snatch Game.
Hmm.
Um, Overall, you know what? It's. I think for me, it's because a lot of them I don't know the characters, so it's hard
Probably.
for me to kind of. So, what is you and I guess Peter in the chat, and I don't know if there's any more of my UK peeps in the chat, but you guys, I'm curious to know your thoughts of how overall you'd rank this Snatch Game.
Once again, the two standouts were the two standouts. Kitty Scott Claus did an amazing Gemma.
Hmm.
She did GC baby, and the Nigella Lawson was spot on as well. Um,
Hmm.
I personally would have put Crystal Versace in the bottom because that was the worst charity shop sue I've ever seen in my
Hmm.
life, and she's an icon over here, as she was in the next episode as well. So
Hmm.
you know who that is. I would have put Vanity in the bottom. I would have put. I don't think that the two that were in the bottom did bad enough in the Snatch Game to warrant being in the bottom. The only thing they did wrong was they didn't lick RuPaul's fucking tight little asshole and say, okay, I'll switch my character because you said so. Like
Hmm.
everyone else did. Common theme? Oh, they didn't do what Ru said, so he said, fuck off.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
sorry. Little Truth. I didn't realize you were in UK too. So Little Truth and Peter, definitely write in the chat what you guys thought overall of the Snatch Game for UK3 because I'm just curious, as somebody who's from there, how you ranked. I mean, again, funny is funny,
yeah.
and for me, not necessarily know. I mean, I know who Gemma is because of Snatch Game from past
Mhm.
seasons, so that's really the only reason I know who she is. Um, Nigella, I feel like somebody did Nigella before too. Didn't somebody do Nigella before in a past season?
I
Because that
think
seemed
someone
familiar to
was
me.
going to do Nigella, but they didn't.
Oh, okay.
I think there was a walk around where somebody did
Right.
Nigella. Yeah.
Right. Now that you said it, I think that's right. So they definitely were the best. I agree.
Oh, 100.
I was gobsmacked that Crystal was not in the bottom. I mean, I
Scarlett, how was.
well, at least
Nah, it was
hers, like
shit, guys. It was
at least
shit.
she had something that she was that she I don't know, like I don't know. I just there was
No, it was
something about
crap.
Crystals that I just couldn't deal with. Okay,
Oh,
so here.
Crystals was terrible as well, but come on, Scarlett with the whole Macaulay Culkin. If Rue didn't piss his fucking tuck laughing at that bullshit,
Mhm.
if Rue had not said do Macaulay Culkin,
Mhm.
that would have been put in the bottom. Hands down.
Okay. All right, so Literal Truth says Ella Vidae was excellent, in my opinion. Kitty was great. River was just very basic. Okay. And then
Yeah,
Peter
but
has
so
a
that's
comment
our
here.
character.
Peter also says, I think the Snatch Game is still living in the shadow of UK season 1 Snatch Game. It was okay. Kitty and Ella did really well, and the rest were average at best, to be honest. Okay.
That's every Snatch Game ever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? There's always two standouts. There's always, like, that's the thing. No one did terrible enough
Mm-hmm.
to give the cricket, they tried to give crickets to Teresa in parts, and yet they
And
were
River,
pissing
I feel
themselves
like.
laughing in others.
Yeah. BK Teacher says, I don't know. I don't get why Crystal didn't get more critique for her Snatch Game. From what we were shown, she seemed pretty weak. And I agree. I just, like, it was really pissing me off too. Like when they were critiquing her and they were like, well, I'm going to give you credit for doing something that you don't normally. Well,
God,
girl,
yeah.
well, then what about the comedy queens who are out there trying to do high fashion? I don't see you going, oh, well, I'm going to give you credit though, because you tried to do high fashion, even though it's not high fashion. I want you to stick around because you don't hear any of that
And
shit.
Teresa had one of the best looks on the runway for Snatch Game.
Agreed.
That peach, have you seen the film clip for her new single though? My
Uh-uh.
pussy tastes like a peach.
No.
It's brilliant. It's so Teresa. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's
And I
wearing
agree. I agree with Hello Kitty. Again, it's apparent who the favorite of the season is. And I've been saying that from the beginning. If anyone besides Crystal wins this season, I will be in utter and complete shock. That's just my opinion.
No, I'd say this. Do you know what? Like the online poll, I just saw an online poll for it earlier before coming on. It was like 56% wanting Ella Vidae to win. 56%. Then Kitty was at 31, and then the other two were there.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
Ella
floored by that.
Vidae. Oh my god, the support for Ella Vidae over here. It.
Well, I think they're supporting her because she's an attractive man, and that's what people do.
Yeah.
Who's that kitty? I'm overwhelmed with all the queens. Yeah. Who's that kitty? Wait, what does that mean? Who's that
Well, again,
kitty?
it's apparent who is the favorite of the season, so that would be Crystal, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, Elaine. All right. So then on episode 7, I guess that's pretty much Snatch Game. There's really not much more.
Is she talking about Kitty Scott Claus?
Oh, maybe.
Mate, I don't even know.
I don't know what it means though. Sorry, Elaine. I don't know what your comment means. All right. So season 7 or episode 7, they had to serve 3 looks in the Miss Fugly beauty pageant, racing against the clock. They wouldn't know their categories until the moment before the presentation. I agree with you. I think it's a fun challenge, like to see them racing to get ready and stuff, because you usually are, like, especially if you're in a show, you only have so many numbers to get into your next drag outfit. So I like that idea. I didn't necessarily love the fugly theme, but go ahead. You were going to say.
No, I love the fugly theme. But clearly, I love trashy drag. I've been doing charity shop drag since I started, which is 21 years ago now. You find it, you make it work. It's great for a spot number. Everyone needs their walk around outfit, and you just go to the charity shop.
Yeah.
So for that reason, and it was a great reason to bring in Charity Shop Sue.
Yeah.
For a cameo.
Yeah, I feel like we saw her before on a season 2, like, because she looked very familiar to me.
No,
Go ahead.
She did a lot of promo for season 2. And I think
that's what it was. Didn't she interview them at the finale?
She interviewed them at the finale, yeah.
That's what it was. Okay. I was like, I know I've seen her before. Literal Truth, who is from the UK, says, I think the support for Ella is mostly because the UK, we hate we hate people that are favorites to win, and now Ella is most likely to be Crystal, so we love her. That's a good thing. I mean, we do the same thing, cheer for the underdog. I don't know, but I just don't see her as, like, I would see Kitty more as an underdog than I would see Ella as an underdog. Personally, that's me. She was the live crowning for season 2. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Charity hosted the season 2 crowning. I think you mean. Oh yeah, charity shop. Okay, yeah. I thought you were saying charity. Was a hoot. She was fun. She was actually a lot of fun. Again, though, I kept thinking like, stop talking to them. They only have an hour to
No,
get.
no, but do you know what? I could listen to Charity Shop Sue all day. In fact, most of my days are spent just going through Twitter and looking at old videos.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so dumb, and I love it. Like, it's just that's my kind of humor, though, and
Yeah.
I love a bit of that stupidity.
So they had 69 minutes to get into their fugly swimwear. They had 60 minutes to do the charity shop outfit, and then they only had 30 minutes to do their fugly but fashionable runway. Okay, so hold on here.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to remember what they wore now, aren't I?
Ish. We'll talk about it a little bit.
In the swimsuit category, the only one I remember is Vanity because it was so goddamn ugly and it looked like she was wearing a mattress.
I just don't get like. I mean, I'm glad somebody read her for it in the reading challenge because I just want her to wear more makeup. Like I'm like whoever made the comment that she was a pretty boy in drag was like, yeah.
Oh, well, now, how much makeup did you own in your first year of drag?
Well, again, but she hasn't been only doing it for a year.
They don't have Anastasia of Beverly Hills supporting them over here. They don't get a sickening supply of CoverGirl.
I get it. I just can't. Like, I just want her to do more. Literal Truth is back on this charity thing. He says, I thought Charity would hate Charity Shop Sue because of how much he despises charity. That is, I do not hate charity cards. I like the time limits. It gave it a feel of real backstage drama. I hope they bring this challenge back again. Yeah, I totally didn't hate it. That's Peter McNulty, another one of our UK listeners. Okay, so then you kind of had said this too, just to kind of jump back to episode 6 and the Snatch Game. Rue came through the room for Snatch Game to talk to everybody and talk about their challenges. You said earlier, you think that a lot of the reason they were in the bottom was because they didn't listen to Rue and they didn't tell her what she wanted to do. I don't think it would have mattered. I think
they're the only two. They're the only two that didn't change their everybody else changed what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only two that stuck to their guns.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, how was bloody Scarlett's? It wasn't funny. It was nothing. It was like when bloody well Jaden Dior Fierce, whatever her name was from season 7, did the Raven bit. There's only so much you can do. That one thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're going to do Macaulay Culkin, why not reference Party Monster? Like, you go off on your Michael A-League tangent, you know?
Yeah.
Do something gay. Bring up. Well, I mean, they probably didn't see him in the newest American Horror Story, but you know, Macaulay Culkin is more than just Home Alone.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't. She would have known that.
Well, I didn't hate the Macaulay Culkin. Like,
I did.
Vanity. I didn't like. There was just nothing to her. Like, she was not funny at all.
No,
there was just nothing
I didn't get it at all.
And again, I think Crystal was just so like out of her league. Like, it was just painful to watch. Maybe she had one funny thing that she said, but in my opinion, if I'm lining them up, hands down, I'm putting Scarlett before Vanity and Crystal. She should not
even Crystal. Like, Crystal didn't even have Sue's look down. She didn't even have the right wig on.
Right.
Like, Sue has a very, very distinctive. You know, it's that gingery orange kind of thing, and she's there looking like the auntie from bloody well, what's that show that's not on Netflix? I don't know. It's a cartoon thing. Yeah, no, it was like. Do you know who she looks like? She looks like. Do you remember in season? I'm bringing it a lot back to season 7 this time. Remember when Kasha Davis and Cartier were the conjoined twins?
Mm-hmm.
She looked like Kasha Davis.
Yeah.
More than she looked like Charity Shop Sue.
Yeah. I'll get back to that. I'll try to remember to come back to that. If not, it's okay. So we did. So let's talk more. Well, the challenge for See, episode 7 was the fugly thing. We didn't really talk yet about the runway for episode 6 yet, but we'll get to that in just a second, guys. I want to stay on episode 7 and the fugly thing. The fugly thing. I again could not, but like to me, these 2 episodes have solidified that Crystal Versace is winning this, because the fact that she was again not in the bottom for this fugly thing.
Yeah.
I like her, first of all, her swimsuit wasn't fugly. It was weird. Like it had nothing to do with like the fugly theme, in my opinion.
So when she had the things on her face.
The starfish and stuff all over her face and stuff, and it was like it reminded me of last season when they did or was it last season that they did like something at the sea, something seaside? Yeah, they did something like seaside first episode season. That's what that reminded me of. I was like, oh, she's doing the wrong thing in the wrong season. Her charity shop, like, okay, first of all, and the fact that they kept talking about how quickly she did her makeup, I was like, look, this isn't a makeup challenge. This is a pageant runway challenge that's supposed to be her strength, that she's supposed to be blowing everybody out of the water. And she literally put, like, the fact that they read Scarlett for wearing a little black dress and didn't say anything to Crystal about wearing basically a little black dress.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Or maybe they didn't say it to her face, but they definitely did it in the discussions.
The judges?
Yeah, I literally just watched it. At least I think they were talking about Crystal.
About her wearing the
little black dress. Yeah, they literally just like, I just expected more. She just came out like, this is the charity show. She just came out in a little black dress.
But like, I guess my thing is like, one person ended up in the bottom for that, and then the other person didn't. It's like, again, it's picking and choosing. It is trying to direct the narrative and all this stuff. I don't think Crystal could win without being at the top on Snatch Game. I disagree with that. And this is what I'm going to say too.
Lawrence was in the bottom for Snatch Game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She lip synced for her life Snatch Game. And
both Evie and Brooklyn were at the bottom too, and they had to fight against each other. You don't need to win Snatch Game to win this show.
Right.
But it does get you into the top.
Yeah. And I will disagree with Scarlett, because I think in one of the next day sequences at the beginning of the episode, she says, there hasn't been anybody who, wait, I think I wrote it down. There hasn't been anybody with, hold on, let me go to the beginning of my notes here. Never been a boring winner, a boring person to win the show. I disagree. Her name is Violet Chachki, ladies and gentlemen. Boring. That is not, I disagree with that statement 1000%. Sorry, Scarlett. Anyways, yeah, I was not happy. So did you think that Kitty deserved the win for the fugly?
Oh, they had to.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those weeks where anyone could have won and anyone could have failed. But Kitty needed the win.
Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. I popped this up on the screen because that's what it was. They talked about it when she wasn't on the runway. When
that's what I thought.
Yeah. And they had a conversation. They brought it up, but they did not say it to her face, which they did to Scarlett. And that pisses me off. So thank you, Elaine, for that. Crystal.
But I was right that they brought it up.
And Pop Princess in the 90s and 2000 did a dirty beach look, should have been in the bottom. Yeah. Who is this? Peter says that Crystal should have been in the bottom too for the thing. It's just, again, the hypocrisy and everything about who gets to do all that is just maddening to me. I've made it clear. I think Crystal should have been in the bottom of the Fugly Challenge. Who do you think should have been bottom 2 in the Fugly Challenge? And you guys put it in the chat too.
In Fugly, no, I thought the right 2 are in the bottom for the Fugly. I thought it was the Scarlet versus Vanity. As nice as they were being about Vanity's orange thing, I still thought the orange sequin dress still looks dumpy and frumpy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
The wig looked horrible too.
oh my god, well, I thought it was that a charity shop wig.
I'm
Was that
guessing
part
it
of the
was.
vibe?
I'm guessing it was because I was just like, that has to be. I mean, if you packed that, I mean, I'm gonna question a lot of things. Crystal and Vanity. See, I think Crystal and Vanity too. I agree 1,000%. I think other than I thought Scarlett's bathing suit, like with the cat lady thing, I thought was actually quite funny. And I thought her, I guess your fashion, like I loved it. Like Michelle's a perfect example of this. Like what I consider fashion and what you consider fashion are very different things.
Oh, 100,
So
yeah.
the fact that Scarlett did what a Scarlet Harlot fashion would be, I love. And I feel like if it was somebody else, if it was somebody that they wanted to do well, they'd be like, "Oh, I love that you stuck to who you are and your character, and you just gave us that person in fashion." Da, da, da. But because it
So
wasn't
what they
someone,
said to Kitty,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, so I'm right there. Whoever said that, I missed who said that. Do you think they are treating her with kid gloves because of her age?
No, because if they were, then Anubis would still be there. She wouldn't have been booted out in the first episode.
True, because Nubis is 19 as
Do
well.
you know what I mean? Gothic Kendall would have had a chance. Bloody, do you know what I mean? He has no issues kicking out the 19-year-olds normally, but I don't know. Clearly, she's not blowing anyone in production because she's a virgin. But,
Right. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Literal truth says, as soon as I saw Crystal gluing Starfish to her face, I could already hear Michelle telling her how brave it would be for her going outside. So true. So true. I love that Kitty won finally. Exactly. Kitty ended up winning that fugly beauty pageant challenge.
But I think Kitty should have won Snatch Game.
I thought I mean it was close. It was definitely close. I think she definitely could have. Double standards always happen on judging. They read Scarlett for her fugly but fashionable look, but not being fashion, but praise Kitty for hers, even though it was at least fashionable on the stage. Right. Caesar is saying that. I agree. I think that's always our issue. And again, I get that drag is art. I get that, we all have different things, but I think we've all been watching the show for so long now
Yeah.
that when you say things that contradict things that you've said in the past, we're going to call you on it because
Yeah,
it's like it's then becomes very clear to us that that wasn't your actual opinion. It was something that you came up with to create the narrative to tell this reality show story.
Yeah.
And we're not falling for it. What we do here, when me and Magenta and Tez and Ollie and Jackie and everyone, when we get on here with you guys and talk, we're basically giving our opinions on what we think, genuinely, and we all disagree. We disagree all the time, and that kind of stuff. And that just goes to show you that you're never going to please everybody 100% of the time. That being said, we all usually agree on the hypocrisy. And we all usually know when the dick is in the soup. So
yeah, we need to record a song. Where's that song coming out?
yeah, we need to record dick in the soup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should do our own girl group challenge.
We need to get on that. Agree, Magenta. I thought Kitty was winning Snatch Game too. Peter's agreeing with you. He thought that Kitty should have won Snatch Game as well. Alan Carr said something about Gucci Runway being nerd fashion is hot. Yeah, well, I think he was talking about Kitty's look because he was like, have you seen the new Gucci line? That was very much what Kitty was wearing and stuff. I think that what time is it? Okay. I think that Crystal's again, it was another moment with Crystal where you're like, oh, what's Crystal gonna do for a fugly fashion? And then when she came out in that, it was Anubis's hair. And it's a jacket and a thing that I've seen before. It wasn't anything new and outside the box and everything. And
her waist was so skinny.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so big, but yet you've got this. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Well, and it's
if anything, that shouldn't go onto a skinny queen that size. That should be on somebody that's plus size that can fill it out.
Right.
Anyway,
well, and then she was one of the ones that in the last episode or the episode before that was getting on Scarlett because Scarlett was upset because they all said her name. And I'm like, wait a minute, girl. So you can get upset that people didn't think your fashion was fashionable and have a hissy fit. But a person who stood on a stage and listened to 5 other people who she considered friends say out loud that they thought that she was the worst and she should go home. You don't think she has a right to, like, again, it's the hypocrisy. It's like when,
Yeah.
and I think Kitty made a comment, she made a comment, like kind of stood up for Scarlett. And she's like, look, you guys all are getting on her. What if it was, and I said this last week when we were talking about this, or the last time we did the podcast, you say that. Like Vanity was the one doing it. Like, oh, well, you're just getting upset. Like, I would just move on and do that. No, Vanity. No. Let's rewind. Let's all get up there and all say your name and let's see how you walk back into that workroom. Because I guarantee you, because she'd walk in going, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
I'm amazing and da-da-da-da. And you guys need to shut up and da-da-da. Like she would have this attitude and everything. Yes, you might make that happen. We'll try and make that song happen. All right. I knew I was going to get on a Vanity tangent today, but
That's all right.
There's
always one, isn't there?
Yeah, right.
And Charity's gone now, so you have to hate someone.
Exactly.
Where's Aunt Simone?
Okay, and so the episode 6 runway, let's get this in real quick, was feeling fruity.
Yes.
Again, I said this before. I think Crystal should have been in the bottom. As nice as it was again, if somebody else is doing the same thing all the time, they always get called. I mean, she did get called out on it, but again, there's no consequences.
Yeah.
It just and Vanity should have been in the bottom. Hands down, Vanity should have been in the bottom. For that, all she did was stick a little bowl of fruit on her head. Like I was like, literally.
No, the bowl was made out of that was the wig.
Again, I could care less.
Okay, so no Vanity
that
for you.
Change my mind. Sorry.
No, I'm not going to even bother trying.
Yeah. Who's this? Hello Kitty says, Crystal is just another wannabe Violet and Aquaria. I agree 1,000%. But those two also won the show. So
exactly.
Whatever. She was literally the only good runway in episode 6, and she was in the bottom. I agree 1,000. Who is that? Literal Truth, of course. We're like one and the same person. I agree 1,000%. I thought Choriza was the most. I mean, no, was it unique? No, absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and say we haven't seen a Carmen Miranda type look before, but
we haven't seen it as a peach. We haven't seen it as a peach.
That's true. Who was your favorite for the
runway?
For the fruity runway, yeah.
Oh, hands down, Choriza.
Okay.
Like, yeah, no, I can't even remember whatever. Yeah. I liked what Choriza had.
I love Kitty,
but I didn't like any of them actually, to be honest. I thought
none of them really stood. I thought Kitty's with the cherries, I felt like she had that outfit. And she's like, oh, I'm just going to add cherries to it. Like, that's completely what I saw. Ella, I couldn't get past her beard. And her wigs, I just can't deal with Ella's wigs either. So I can't ever look past that. I love me some Rivers. She is so gorgeous. Like her face and her hair everything was gorgeous. I just wish I liked the bowl idea. I just felt like the fruits needed to be in proportion to the bowl. Like if she had huge cherries and a huge lime and a huge sitting inside of that, I would have been sold. It was just the proportion was off for me.
You would think that she would have learned from Tia Coffee with the ice cream cone dress.
Exactly.
Don't wear a bowl of brown around your waist.
Yeah. Well, Caesar's saying how Crystal's look was the same as her sewing challenge, which they did call her on the runway, which I appreciate at least. But again, there's no.
I'll say this though: the colors were amazing. Like that color combination was stunning.
Well, it's the color of the fruit, so I'm not going to give her credit for coming up with the color company.
that's the fruit that I would have done.
Not going to give her that kind of credit.
I'm trying to be nice here.
I
I spent
know.
the first half of this season being nasty to the 19-year-old. I'm trying to be nice.
I know. Yeah,
It's,
you're one of
it's
us
the,
has to be the nice one. Yeah.
yeah, we can't both be the mean one every week.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the results each week. We'll do episode 6 first, and then we'll lead into episode 7. Episode 6, which was Snatch Game, Ella and Kitty were in the top. Scarlett, Vanity, and Crystal ended up being safe. River and Shariza ended up being in the bottom 2. Ella Viday ends up winning and getting her second repeater badge. They had to lip sync to Shout by Lulu, who
Magenta is on
was,
meds right now, Kitty. You're right.
say it again.
Hello, Kitty. Magenta is on
Oh,
meds right
meds now. That's right. That's right. She's not in her right
now. It's
mind.
true.
So episode 6 where RuPaul commented on Sharice's genitals again. I feel like it's the whole commenting on someone's meaty tuck thing is gross. She did definitely talk about it again. Yeah, I mean, I understand bringing it up because it's something that when you're watching drag, it's something that distracts
Yeah,
you from the illusion of drag. I don't know that I just watching it on TV, she never like it didn't bother like I didn't notice anything,
I
but
never noticed it.
I think it's different in person. I didn't get the fruity critiques. They gave Crystal Bottom critiques, but then she got the God-given talent speech from Rue. It was so confused. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the episode. They were like, "You are meant to be a drag queen. This is what you're supposed to." Ugh, I was vomiting. As much as I love Teresa, River did way better in that lip sync. I agree. I did not. I mean, I think we said this earlier. I don't think that I don't think it was worthy of a double elimination by any means.
No, I would have just given the win to River because,
Yeah,
I mean, come on, she did 5 cartwheels and that head did not budge.
yeah.
That deserves a brownie point.
Hi, Bite Back is back. They're late, but that's better late than never. That's okay. We're happy to have you. Um, Teresa was completely unfazed. Um, yeah, still devastated by the double elimination. All right, so episode 7, which was the Fugly runway, Ella and Kitty again were in the top. Crystal ended up being safe. Scarlett and Vanity ended up being in the bottom. Excuse me. Kitty Scott Claus won her first repeater badge.
Guys, we're both dying over here today. Can you
I know,
tell?
right? I have no excuse. I'm just choking on my own spit. Um, the lip sync song was "Scandalous" by Mystique, which I love that song, by the way.
Great song.
And FYI, Lulu was a guest judge, episode 6, and Alicia Dixon was a guest judge, episode 7. I have to say, I just want to
Lulu
give a
was
shout.
brilliant.
Say it again.
Lulu was brilliant.
I love Lulu, but Alicia Dixon to me was probably one of the most entertaining judges I've ever
Yeah.
seen. Like just her yelling out during the runways and during the lip sync was just like she got up and was like, like you could tell she was having the time of her life, and I loved every minute of it. I love you too, Hello Kitty. Thank you. River should have won. Way double. What's the T? Sorry, apparently I've lost the ability to spell today. It's okay. Yeah. And so Scarlett ended up going home against Vanity. The fact that Vanity Milan is in Final Four to me is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. The fact that the 2 fan favorites were in the bottom on Snatch Game and both sent home. It's like Rue doesn't at this stage even give a shit about his audience anymore.
Mm-mm.
Like he don't give a shit what we want. He's just
Well, and I mean, there's a part of me that understands that. Like, I'm like, okay, it's your show. And I say that all the time. You can pick who you want, send home who you want, do what you want. It's your show. But again, what we do here is we talk about it. We give our opinions. We're going to call out hypocrisies. We're going to speak up for the fans that watch our show and that we see on Twitter and stuff. And who Mark mind blown. I don't know what made you blow your mind. What I said made you blow your mind, but I just like it's just I don't know. I just think the show could be done in such a better way. I just think that I was saying this to somebody the other day. I just think, like, again, like, we have to get to the root of the problem with a lot of this stuff. And to me, the root of the problem is this image of these fashion runways. And there are
Hmm.
these anorexic women who, and I'm not saying that they're not trying to do plus size models and all these things. Like, they're really trying to change up the way. So I will applaud anybody who does that. I'm not putting down everybody who is a fashion designer by any means. But when, like you said, when the comment to Crystal is how thin her waist is, of course,
A thin waist isn't a
subconsciously,
talent.
yes, subconsciously, any queen who does not have a 19-inch waist is going to
Yeah,
automatically go, well, I can't do that.
yeah.
I can't. That's something I can't give to you. So this is why you see so many bigger queens doing comedy. I'm not saying they all do. Candy Muse is an example of a bigger queen who relies on body. We'll put that in quotes. Um, I don't know that she's necessarily great at it, but she's
Mm.
at least got the balls to do it. Where I
In
would
other words, what you're
never.
saying is Candy Muse isn't funny.
Exactly, exactly. Um, RuPaul is the most chaotic RuPaul on Drag Race UK3. Who said that? Literal Truth. Um, yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm almost kind of waiting for the end.
Oh, at this stage, God, yeah.
I just don't care. All
It's
right.
like they can't have two good seasons on at once.
Yeah.
Like, because in my opinion, Canada's going great guns.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because this season's so lackluster.
What does Caesar say? The question is, would we even talk this much about the show if we agreed on every decision made on it? It's a very good point,
Absolutely
Caesar.
not.
Very good point. I mean, we would still do the show if that's what you're asking, Caesar. We would still do
It
the
just would
show
be a lot more boring.
because yeah, exactly. We just wouldn't be yelling at RuPaul personally. So there were some mirror
And there
moments.
lies the problem.
Right, exactly.
I think the show has outgrown RuPaul.
Yeah. Oh, this is an
So
interesting idea Elaine has. Maybe there should be a fan vote for one of the finalists so the audience can have a say. I feel like there
he's
kind of
never going to
is
allow it.
because I feel like she does kind of look at, like, when they are you team this or you team that. I'm sure she looks to see who's getting the most likes. I don't think it
Then Bimini would have won.
necessarily influences her decision on who wins, but I
Yeah.
think the first example of that um, was two of the people that I felt like played the game the best on their seasons were Sharon Needles
Yeah.
and uh, Jinx Monsoon, who were by no means front runners the entire season, were made fun of the entire season. Evie Oddly is another good example of that,
Hmm.
where I think she did kind of go, okay, maybe not the person that I would have thought, but I
Up
see
until
what
season
all these
9.
people see in these people, and I think they deserve a shot at the win. Um, and those are the ones that stand out to me.
Hmm.
Those are the queens that stand out to me. The ones that were it's they're putting their heart and soul into it, and you can see it. Again, we're none of us are on here ever talking about Jinx Monsoon's fashion sense per se, but like you still can appreciate her drag and what she does and how she does it.
Yeah.
It just yeah. Anyway, so we did have some mirror moments. Episode 6, everyone was telling their coming out stories, which I always love coming out stories. It's always interesting. I'm guessing Magenta didn't have a very
I
good
don't give
coming out
a shit,
story as
mate.
she tries to hang herself.
This
Uh, g-
sort of stuff just makes me just want to bath and go to the toilet.
okay.
I hate these sorts of mirror moments. I'm like, oh, boo. I was with Kitty. Like, I'm just like, yeah, not everything's a tragedy. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Um,
everything's our tragedy. And yeah, I get it. This is why he wins Emmys. This, uh, I just want the drag and the fun back.
yeah.
That's all. I just want the drag and the fun back.
Yeah. What did I say? Kylie Sonique was the most supported by the fans on All Star 6, even though she had the weakest run among the finalists and she won. It's actually another good example. I think that was Cesar Rodriguez who wrote that in the chat.
Yeah, but Ginger Minge needed to have another "I've been robbed again" storyline.
I mean, I don't even want to go there because I'm gonna short circuit if I have to start talking about
Same with Shangela. Like, I'm sorry, but as much as anything else, they love her. They'll never get the crown, but
yeah,
always these girls.
yeah.
What do we
Well, I
know
think
about that?
I do think just the coming out, going back to the coming out stories. I do feel like I think River made a comment about Scarlett. I think what those things do is when people start talking about it's something we can all relate to. Anybody who's gay,
Yeah,
lesbian, whatever, we've all have that story of having to tell people, having to, kind of make that announcement. So I think it does help them relate to each other and maybe see each other in a way that they didn't before. Because like I said, River made a comment how she kind of understood Scarlett a little bit better after hearing her story.
yeah,
So I mean, I like them. I love coming out stories because they're always so entertaining because
yeah.
they're always it's a story. It's usually a story.
It's a story, but I mean, it's the way it was brought up. It's like, so doing the acting challenge, it reminded me of that time when I was acting being a heterosexual. Did anybody else feel that way? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Well,
Like,
it's definitely
that's the
scripted,
bit
but
that gets me. It was
yeah,
none of that was authentic in any regards. And
yeah,
that's where I just, ooh,
yeah.
yeah, not today, say.
Um, right. On episode 7, they talked about getting trolled online, which I actually thought was a very interesting conversation because obviously it does happen to them. I mean, not to everybody, but it does happen to them a lot because they're online and they're doing their Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It was interesting, but I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about. I was just, I mean, we all love Kitty, but my love for Kitty has grown so much more after this episode. To see her talk so positively about herself and her size and how like supportive her family was and how it's like this is just who I am and I just
yeah.
have big shoulders and I just have big legs and this is just me and it was just like it was really really refreshing to hear, because I mean again, we all in the gay community just are always so
So used
self-conscious
to
about our
tragedy.
bodies. Yeah, it
We're
was just
so
so
used to
nice.
a tragedy.
Mhm.
Sometimes it is nice just to hear the lovely little white person say, "My life's perfect." No, I'm
Uh-huh.
joking. That's I'm being facetious.
Wait, what is little Tree says, "When I came out, I was so disappointed how little drama it was. I was told it would be an emotional tragedy by the TV, and it was just, okay, cool." I mean, I was definitely the last to know. Like, I would tell people, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, we knew. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
we knew."
I'm
Um,
saving my one for the memoir.
yeah. My
That's
if I told the whole story, the actual whole story is quite entertaining, but that was the gist of it. Is like it was just kind of like everyone was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, telling my family was a little more dramatic, but and then like you said earlier too, it came up in this getting trolled online conversation that Miss Crystal Versace is a virgin. I mean, she's only 19, so that's not necessarily a horrible thing. um, so yeah,
no, this is true. No, it's not. It's I was just a dirty, rotten slut from the age of 14, but that's another story. Once again, for the memoir.
yeah. I was. I mean, I was. I
Pick
didn't have.
somebody that would like
I
that.
was 23. I was a late
There you
bloomer by the time
go.
I was 23. So, but I made up for it. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
And I'm
Um,
sure she will too now as well.
right.
She will have
Exactly.
many a race chaser trying to get the D.
Totally. Totally.
I was
Um,
just more surprised because I was convinced she had a sugar daddy paying for everything.
right. Right. Um, well, that was it. We actually did it, Magenta. We made it through
Oh
2
my god, we did
episodes
it!
in an hour. I'm just gonna end with I just wanted to just remind everybody that Painted with Raven premieres in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out on Wow Presents Plus for that. Also, if you're watching Drag Race Canada, that is on also Wow Presents Plus. So check that out if you haven't already. Are you watching it? Did you say you're watching it?
Canada, yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Quick
Queens of the
thoughts?
Universe is coming out soon as well.
Oh, that's right, Queens of the
Just
Universe with
started the
Graham
promo
Norton
tour for
and
that this week.
yep, that is true. I don't believe Mark was kidding. What was I not kidding about? Hold on, let me I don't know what I wasn't kidding about, little truth. I was 22, is holding on to your virginity a bad thing? No, not at all.
Oh,
I think mine was more just I just didn't like, I hadn't came out to myself yet, so
right.
I wasn't obviously interested in women, like, in
Yep.
that way, so I wasn't going to because I didn't want it, and I was too scared to do anything with a guy, so,
Hey, so, some of us have two coming out stories because there's the girl time and the boy time.
right, right.
Once again, wait for the memoir. Wait for the
Yes.
parents to cark it.
And then I don't know if you saw, I mean, I guess we did because I think it was the preview before the episode, but Jimbo versus Peas on
I
Wow
did
Presents
see
Plus.
that.
Did
Yes, yes.
anybody watch it?
I haven't watched it yet. No, I meant, yeah, I might fall asleep to it tonight.
It seemed, I mean, it's Jimbo, so I guess I'm not shocked that it's out there, but yeah, that's on Wow Presents Plus. So I might just
Hey,
peek my head in and see what it's like.
give it a
I
go.
don't know. Anyway, so before we go, next week on RuPaul's Drag Race is overacting in Bra Wars.
Okay.
So knowing that, who will be going home, Magenta? Your prediction.
I don't think anyone's going home.
Oh, really?
Really, but that's probably because I stupidly read Reddit this week.
Oh.
No, but we don't know that for a fact because what I thought I read on Reddit was supposed to happen this week and it didn't happen, so it's all good.
Okay.
Who's going to go home? Well, we now have a top four
Kitty,
and two
Crystal,
episodes,
Ella, and
three
Vanity.
episodes left.
3
Are they
episodes
going to
left?
go? Well, what's next week? Season episode 8,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10. Yeah, 3 episodes.
Okay.
So, are they going to go back to the old formula and have a top 3? Maybe that'll be good. That'll be a nice.
Well,
Back
I
to basics.
agree. I agree. Everybody in the chat. I'm agreeing with everybody in the chat so far at Vanity. I don't know that I think she will. I mean, I think she will. I also think she should go home. So I'll just leave it at that.
But we
Hopefully
always need
Vanity.
an underdog.
Well, I don't. You can hope all you want. Who is this?
They're all
Peter?
underdogs at this stage, aren't they?
Right.
All the
I
top
don't.
runners have gone.
Sorry, Peter, but I do not see Crystal going home since I think she's being groomed to win. So,
I don't think Crystal
anywho,
will win though.
yeah, I don't think so.
She
I don't
hasn't had a
know.
win since season episode 2.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah, no. I think that I think Kitty's getting the up from behind storyline.
I mean, I would love that. Do not get me
I
started.
reckon if Kitty gets the win next week with the acting challenge, and we know that she could, it's Kitty's to lose. I
Okay.
reckon it'll end up being between Kitty and Ella.
Okay. I mean, I'm completely in support of that. So I will.
Well, has Crystal shown that she can act? Really?
No.
No.
I mean,
Both.
the judges may have said that she's an amazing actress and she did such a great job and she did something outside of her
What?
box. That doesn't mean it's
Why? Because she rode or jumped up and down on a little ball thing?
here's an interesting twist from Literal Truth. Maybe they'll bring Victoria back and for the last 3, and she can win.
Yeah, no, that's it's a bit too late in the game for that, I think.
Yeah.
Or Veronica, or I don't know. They've made some real questionable choices this year, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I'm kind of ready for it to end. That being
we're nearly
said,
there.
Magenta and I will be back next Sunday at 3:00 to recap the next episode. Unfortunately, Magenta and I were talking about this before we went live. I will have to leave Monday to go to Houston for my training. So we're hopefully going to be able to finish recapping the season. I'm going to talk to Ollie or maybe one of my other cohorts in crime and see if they can finish out the season with Miss Magenta. We'll figure something out. We'll definitely figure something out. So stay tuned to social media. You can make sure you're following us on DRTVLA, and we'll do my best to keep that updated as I'm getting ready to go to training. Miss Magenta, where can they find you on the social media?
On one of them, it's Queen Magenta Fox. On the other one, it's Fox Magenta.
And you can find me on Instagram at the Mark J. Freeman. Or if you're into cross dressers, follow Lorraine Love at LORAYNELOV. Thank you to
Totally
everybody who joined us in the chat. Even
fine.
Bite Back is back, who came in late. Thank you for joining. Hello Kitty, Literal Truth, Peter, Caesar, Elaine, Hello Kitty. And my BK teacher was here. Luis Manuel Hernandez Elias. Thank you guys so much. We love having you here. It's why we do it. What training, Mark? Oh, if you weren't here last week, I got a job with
We weren't
United
here last
Airlines.
week, Mark.
Yeah. Rewatch next week's episode. I will be going to Houston for flight attendant training for United Airlines. So, but I will be here next Sunday with Magenta to do next week's episode, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Figure it out.
Thank you all. We love ya.
Bye.